Whenever you're ready, Martin.
Yeah, we're ready.
Get your litter away.
No brandy.
No, that's why I'm putting it away. Mine didn't this time. No brandy.
I've already had my mints.
Right, guys, and welcome to episode 17, no less.
17.
Hey,
Yes.
do you know what? I think we're going to get to 20 before we know it. What do you reckon?
I think we'll get to 20 before we thought we were going to get to 20.
Yeah.
But by the by with that, we've got some good features coming up this time, haven't we?
We have. We've got quite a few things coming up, actually. A little bit varied. You might think this is going to be a Vauxhall special to start with, but it isn't.
Can I just say, I think Malcolm really tried for the Vauxhall special,
I
didn't
did.
you? You did. But
We couldn't quite get the cars, could we?
No.
we fell at the
Nobody
last
seems
hurdle.
to want to admit to owning a Vectra.
Moving on.
Yeah, that's the be and end of it all. No one wants to own up to owning a Vectra, I'm afraid, which sort of put the tin lid on it for us, but we actually found some.
By the way, if you've got a Vectra.
Sorry about that, but it was his idea to say that.
Commiserations.
Anyway, without further ado, I think we should look at our first Vauxhall, shouldn't we?
Yes.
A Vauxhall Zafira, and before anyone starts saying, you've done a Zafira, this is a Zafira B,
The fire starter.
the fire starter. Malcolm brought his own barbecue along to the party and we filmed. So this is the Zafira.
Zafira.
Yes, I'll just turn the camera to Malcolm while he says this, purely because I remember when we did the Zafira of the old that you had.
Yeah.
Going back into 2017, I believe. They're back into 2017.
The Christmas week.
It was, yeah. It was bitterly cold, as you'll see with the video. We were all trussed up to face the cold weather. We were up on the moors in the snow, but the Zafira battled on, didn't it? It was a good car.
That was a Zafira A, which was a 1.8 litre petrol. This one is a Zafira B, which is a 1.6 litre petrol.
Oh yeah, we're in a bit of a facelifted model, aren't we?
It is. It's a facelifted model. There's a few changes on the inside, a few changes on the outside, but essentially it's exactly the same vehicle. Its handling's the same. The very things that made the original Zafira really, really good make this one really, really good.
I can really agree that it's a car that's been redone, but has actually worked.
Now, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get the annoying gripes out of the way. No car's perfect. We all know that. If they were, everybody would buy it. One of the things that annoys me, the dash is lit all the time.
Now, you see, I don't know, is this a feature of just the Zafira or all Vauxhalls? Because I can't always remember mine being like that in my Astras.
I've certainly noticed in this one, it's on all the time. When you see people driving without the lights off, you're thinking, how do you not know that your lights aren't on? Because your dash would be off. And in this one, of course, your dash is on all the time. So if you've forgotten to turn your lights on, you're not going to realise it. The other thing I don't like, soft touch indicators.
The ones in the Astra, well, let's say were livable. They were soft touch, but
the thing is,
big.
They are two-stage, so it goes down, and if you do it down again, it turns it off.
Right.
You can go right the way down to the bottom. So you've got that point where you can turn it off, turn it on.
So you can self-cancel without you putting the other indicator on.
But it does take a bit of getting used to, and I really don't like those soft touch indicators. I prefer the fact that you've got the latch that the steering wheel catches onto.
I must admit that's the way I like them as well.
Last but not least, the handbrake.
Oh, now I saw this when I climbed in, and at first I looked for an armrest and then was confronted with this.
Yeah.
It looked, I don't know, it looks like something like, as if you pull it, the passenger ejector seat would fly out. It just looked really strange.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it and I thought, wow, that's really good. But it kind of isn't. It is and it isn't. It just... I mean, I have a problem at the minute with my arm strained here.
Yeah.
But it makes it more painful to actually take the handbrake off and put it on.
But the thing is, and what I can see there, this is a centre console area.
Yeah.
A place where you'd neither don't have an armrest or cup holders. I just think it's a little bit of a lethal sort of thing, and it'll take me a long time to get used to.
And the other thing is, as well, with your normal handbrake, your wrist is in the natural position. Now you've got to turn your wrist and pull.
Yes, it looks a bit of an abnormal way of dealing with the car. I mean,
now, some people love it. In use, no, don't like it. The gear position does take a bit of getting used to. With it being where it is.
Yes, it's a bit
you've got...
higher up into it.
It is, so you've got that. And the fact it's at an angle as well, so normally when you're using your gears, you're like that.
Yeah.
Now you're going up, down. It takes a bit of getting used to, but it's not too bad.
I can see the display and everything with the stereo and all that is exactly the same as I had with my two Astras.
Yeah.
I actually found it a very easy system to use because everything was so, well, I say well laid out. Everything was easy touch.
Yeah.
All these with the rubber controls, with the grips on, they were fine. I never had no issues with them.
This one's the Life model, which is a bit sort of the lower end, so you don't get your colour-coded mirrors, your body-coded mirrors and things like that. You've got your standard airbags for your passenger and your driver as well, but other airbags in this one you don't have. The great thing is, if you've had the Zafira A, this one is so easy to adapt to because it's effectively the same car. You've got the same seating arrangements, you've got the same...
in the back here, haven't you?
You've got exactly the same seating arrangements, so you've got the same room space, you've got exactly the same seats at the back when you put it as a 7-seater. There's no difference at all. It is a well thought out car. They've basically taken what was really good about the previous Zafira and just basically built on it. The noise insulation from road noise and stuff like that is better in this one than the old one.
Yeah.
The general comfort, the seats are exactly the same, but the general comfort and feel of the cabin is better. The build quality feels better.
They are actually soft plastics as well, aren't
Yeah.
they? All your top of your dash is this really soft
Tactile.
where you can press it in.
Yeah.
But it's also the same on the doors.
It is.
But at the end of the day, it is a people carrier, isn't it? You're going to have lots of people in and out of it. You want it to be a reasonable place to be.
And it's roomy.
That is the beauty of vehicles like this. Just how, if you're going to have to go get somewhere or move somewhere for someone, you're going to achieve it.
It drives like one of the better Astras. It doesn't drive like the lower range Astras.
This is what I was going to say. I mean, my actual first car was a Vauxhall Nova.
Yeah.
Then I changed to a Corsa. When I changed to the Corsa from the Nova, you could tell the difference straight away. And then I got my Astras, you could tell again. Yeah. But once they got to that sort of era, then with the Astras and these and whatever Vauxhall were making, you could tell the ride in them then. You could tell what you'd been in.
Yeah.
It sort of captured the way a Vauxhall was going to be. And you can see it inside and out. We even have the chrome now on the back of these.
Now, here's a pretty important point. You may have spotted our friendly neighbourhood elephant popping up earlier, and that is around the air conditioning system. It could actually catch fire. So if you're unsure, it's very easy. If you've got an air conditioning unit at all, whether it's climate control or this particular system, and we had this checked before we bought the car, we checked with the Vauxhall dealer. You basically ring up, give them the registration. If it needs the work doing, they will tell you, get it booked in, it's done for free. And if it doesn't need it doing, or it's already been done, they'll just say, yep, it doesn't need the work doing, it's already been done, or it doesn't need it.
But it is a certain thing which did crop up with this mark and model of car, isn't it? So it can't be swept under the carpet.
It can't.
The fact that Malcolm says it's free to have it checked and done.
But that's really the only massive downside of the Zafira B. It, like I say, it takes everything from the original Zafira that was really, really good and builds on it.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you've acres of space. You're not going to struggle for passenger room, really. Even the back seats are really good.
You see, the thing is, when we did the other Zafira that you had, and it was included in doing cars we could find for a certain cheap price.
Yeah.
And I was overwhelmed now for the money, what you got with that car, and that was that one then. So just take a look what we've got now. We've got a much more up-to-date version of the same idea, and it works.
You've got wear and tear. It's yeah, you're going to have it. It's a 12-year-old car.
Yeah, you're about to.
It's an 07 plate.
But it will still serve its purpose, won't it? And that's the idea.
And it's massively improved over the last one. The stereo's not bad, I don't mind it. The sound's pretty good, especially when you look at it and this is a base range car.
Yeah.
It does its job, it does everything you need. 1.6 engine. Like I say, it's fine on most driving. I mean, we live in Huddersfield. I do find that I've got to drop it down a gear. So the couple of the hills around here where you can easily do it in fourth, you've got to drop this down to third.
But do you think you'll be carrying slightly more weight anyway with this? With some of the features that's been added onto this car from the old.
Just for the extra body weight.
Yeah.
Just for the extra body, it's huge.
Yeah.
And you are talking over a ton of car. Whereas normally the engine in this would be put into something like an Astra or the Vectra. The gearbox helps a lot with this.
It sounds it, doesn't it? I'll tell you what, the seats I'm sat on and things like that, the comfort. You can imagine going on a long journey in this and not being stressed out in this.
The old one, we used to take that on holiday and it wasn't a problem. It was a great vehicle to drive. This one is even more so. It feels a lot more solid.
I must say it's a vast improvement and step up from the other Safira that we did. It really is.
And the thing is, essentially, take the panels off, it's essentially the same vehicle.
Yeah.
You know, you can put the back seats down.
Yeah.
If you need something completely flat, you can bring this up,
right.
these seats up, bring them upright, then bring it right up and you've got a complete flat loading space.
It's very versatile, isn't it? Which you should expect of a vehicle like this. That is the idea, and I'd be devastated if it was lacking in a lot of things that you couldn't do like that, because then you'd start asking the question, well, what is the point?
Okay, well that was the Safira B. Interesting one that it was. We've got another Vauxhall coming up for you now, and I know Malcolm said it's not a Vauxhall special, and I can promise you it isn't. But anyway, we've got well, it's a pretty special car really in many ways, particularly for me. We've got a Vauxhall Frontiera, and it's a unique one, as you'll find out in more ways than one. Cue the tape.
Right then viewers, here we are again under the car.
Today on this red hot day you do find us in a
Vauxhall Frontiera.
A Vauxhall Frontiera no less.
Quick details of this car then. So, it's a 3.2 litre V6 limited, 210 horsepower. I think it was when it was new anyway.
Packed a bit of a punch back then.
It certainly does. Well, it still does now. Yes, it's a bit unusual this car. It's a number of reasons for that, but the first one being the specification, and it is a, like I said, 3.2 V6 fitted with a very rare 5-speed manual. The majority of them, of course,
that's the thing, a lot of them would be automatics, yeah.
As was popular, suited the engine very well, but yeah, this is fitted with the manual, unusually. It's also in the lovely oyster silver metallic, which Martin has taken
colour that I
well.
loved. When I turned up, this car looks absolutely mint.
Yeah, really good. It's very unusual. Anyone I've ever seen that colour. Specification wise, like I mentioned, it's unusual. A couple of options, very popular options at the time when it was new, one of which was the diamond package, which came with basically full leather seats, heated front seats, and I think so as well. As you can see, we've got lovely velour.
And we're not sat on heated front leather seats or anything.
Thank God today, because it is red hot.
Yeah, we've sort of, it's a limited car, but the spec's gone sort of the other way, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's of course, that's the limited model, which is the top of the range trim level at the time, but without any of the options.
Yeah,
which is really quite unusual. Another popular option, again, which this car doesn't have, which I actually think me and Martin both agree it looks better without it, was the front A-bar or style bar. It's basically a colour-coded A-bar that goes over the front grille, fitted with 2 spot lamps the size of dinner plates.
Yeah.
But yeah, so me and Martin both agree it looks a lot cleaner without it.
I prefer it's a better look like this, yeah.
And it's unusual not to have that. Again, there's a lot of options on this car that it doesn't have fitted, which kind of almost makes it more unique in some ways.
So we're seeing everything we interior here, we find everything original as it is the day it rolled out.
Absolutely original. You've got the original Delco Electronics CD player.
Yeah.
CDR.
Yeah, we've got all the usual buttons and switches and everything standard and factory fitted the day it came out of the factory.
Even working air conditioning with
working air conditioning on it.
Which we could do with today, to be honest.
But it's just such a time warp place to be in as well, isn't it?
You don't see stuff like this now, do you?
The steering wheel's obviously got just a natural wear due to its age, but what really struck me when I turned up was the exterior of the car. It's
and we'll show you the outside in a
we
second.
will see shots and
Yeah.
a lot of video stuff of that later. But it's mint. I can't keep stressing how much it is a time warp car. It's like it's been found.
It's like it's been hidden away for a decade and then suddenly
Yeah.
pulled out the garage. But
There's parts on this car gleaming better than my car. I really just...
hurts him to admit that.
I know, it on a day like it. Yeah, it does.
So, exterior of the car, we mentioned the condition. And what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, everybody just look at it. I mean, when I rolled up there, you could have taken that plate off and I would never have said it's a 2002 vehicle. I mean, it's mint, and it's not just the sun that is doing this, believe me. It is mint, is this. And as we pointed out, remember the front, how clean it does look without
the, yeah, we mentioned the style bar that you used to be able to get that went up like that. With two spotlights like dinner plates.
Yeah, which I think takes a lot of the front off it, so I prefer it like that.
It's quite unusual to see one without, like we mentioned, but it does look a lot cleaner, I think, without.
I think it actually is how the vehicle should be like that, to be fair.
You're not planning on hitting anything, are you? So it's I think it.
You wouldn't dare have in this, would you?
No. We don't live out in the Australian outback.
But as we said, as we said, look at this paintwork finish and the colour. It's
oyster silver, of course.
oyster silver, as you keep referring to. Yeah, it's a wonderful colour, isn't it?
For a 17-year-old car, I mean.
I can't believe this is 17-year-old. I'm sure they're pulling the wool over me.
I hope it comes across on camera as well as it does in person. Original wheels, not refurbished, completely as they are.
Everything's all standard as we see it, isn't it? There's been nothing messed about with in any way. It's all as you see.
And I know you can't see it very well on the camera, but under the sill here, it looks brand new.
Also, look, you know what I'm like for little touches, but look, limited badges on the side. I like little things like that.
All original badges.
Yeah. Everything with your colour-coded handles and all the lot, which we've been very careful with.
They've actually lasted really well. They've actually they're not been too.
I think it's all stood up very fair. We've got a 4x4 badge up here as well, and little reminders just to tell us what we're doing. But yeah, look how fair the wheels are. They're brilliant, aren't they?
Not curved, they're completely as they should be.
Yeah, they're absolutely brilliant.
But I think you'd have a job curving these with tyres like that.
Well, yeah, true enough, it does save your wheels a bit, but they are in stonking condition of these. I love things like we've got the roof rails and all this on top of it. It just makes it that more rugged look. But one thing I pointed out to you as well, which I always liked about the Frontier, how you get this trim right around the wheel arches.
Yeah. Now, of course, we mentioned on the last run-out limited edition models that were made in the last couple of years of production, this was colour-coded. And I think it looks a lot better as it is.
Do you know, for all it's a bit of a headache to keep it as good as what this condition is, I do prefer it like this.
Yeah.
I think it matches with all the trim and everything, and it just gives it that more rugged look.
Yeah.
It really suits the nature of the car.
And certainly protects the paintwork a bit. If you'd rather not that than.
Well, yeah,
that,
you wouldn't want, but if it came to it, yes, because at the end of the day, this is just plastic and stones underneath and all. Everything's all protected away from your paintwork, isn't it? The tyre that's in here has never come out.
This, as far as I'm aware, has never even been opened. So whatever's
Are you sure there's one in there? There might not be one in there.
Yeah.
Someone might have stored a load of cash or something in there. You might only find it.
There you go.
Could be anything in there.
But no, same with the rest of the car. The rear of it has stood up just as well as everything else.
And I pointed at these. I spotted these on the lights. They're like little vents, aren't they?
I don't know if they're actually functional.
They're not. Well, we know they're not going to be functional.
No, they're fake, aren't they? But nice.
But when you think about it, for styling's sake, how Vauxhall went to the lengths of doing that.
Yeah.
What a little touch. You know what I'm like about little touches and things. I like that actually. I really do.
It's sort of boxy sort of styling. It's coming back now.
Yeah.
People ask,
I still think this is a styling that's still standing up.
Yeah.
It really is, and I think this is what's doing it.
It kind of went out of fashion and is now, as
things do, don't they? The trends come and
fashion,
go. But and we have got footage, I believe, of how this tailgate opens, and I really like how it opens. And one thing people might spot, it goes that way, a bit like what the EcoSport used to do.
Yeah.
But once you get used to it, I find that actually better.
Yeah.
But I like how that goes up as well.
You just have to be aware when you're in a car park that how much room you need.
Well, in a vehicle like this, you'll have to acquire for space. You've got to think about things like that. But I do like how it's split.
Yeah.
I really like that idea.
It does have a split tailgate, of course. The glass does open up.
You've even got the protection strip for the wiper.
Yeah, where it sits on the paintwork.
So it doesn't harm the paintwork.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's still there after all
There's
this
quite a
time.
lot of thought that's actually gone into the car when you.
Do you know, I think there's been more thought gone into this than what people actually realise.
Yeah.
I think they were more bothered about, let's say, criticising the vehicle at first. But it's here to stand the test of time, isn't it? I have said it a few times on camera and that. It is a time warp car.
It is.
It really is. And I think this one is in absolutely mint condition.
It is pretty remarkable.
It's one of those I can keep having a look at all day. It's really surprised me as this vehicle.
Yeah. Right. Well.
So that's the exterior, folks. And like I said, I hope the camera is doing this justice. You'd have to be studying to see how good this car is. But it is a cracking car.
Yeah, we do it picking it up as well on the camera, of course.
Yeah.
But what you see is what you get. It's completely original interior. Hope you enjoyed that, guys.
Hang on. I think I can hear the jingles.
Hope you enjoyed the jingle. Discussion time then, as it is in most episodes now. So, topic of this month's discussion, actually, I can't really take credit for this one.
No.
It actually came in from a viewer, and the idea for this, so thank you, you know who you are.
Right. Actually, I didn't actually realise that this came in from a viewer. Thank you for that. I won't say you've put us on the spot with this, you've put us on the wall, but we're going to try and milk this one.
I now know how those lions, they're just trophy lions feel when they're hung up on the wall.
Yeah, this is totally, I will say it again, I'm sorry I'm bringing the puns out, it's totally off the wall, is this discussion. But, yeah. So what is this discussion
Right,
that this person has actually put for us?
I know. 'cause I
We
read
are
comments.
professionals, I know it doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
Right, so, you may have noticed I've got a cheat sheet here, but there is a reason for this, I shall explain. Topic is basically cars that we have in UK and Europe that have sold really well, that us guys are used to seeing every day of the week almost, but didn't, should we say, make the transition so well to the US. I've got 5 cars here that I've picked for today's discussion. So, first one, well, us guys here in the UK and Europe will know it as either the Vauxhall or Opel Astra, yes?
Yes.
Which
I do remember it, I won't say Fateful Astra, but I do remember it.
Of which, of course, I've had one. In America, in 2008, they brought it out as the Saturn Astra.
Saturn Astra?
Yep.
Isn't it typical that
No.
Saturn just, I don't know, sounds American?
Well,
straight
I
away?
believe as well, when this car died, a couple of years later, the Saturn brand actually died with it as well.
Right, so they all got killed off there and then.
Yeah. Not necessarily because of the Astra, but you know,
Might have been.
General Motors being what they built. Anyway, so yes, they sold it as a Saturn Astra. It came, well, over here, of course, we had it with a number of engines from 1.4, which is what I've got, to 2 litre turbos and even diesels. In America, it was available only with a 1.8 petrol.
Right.
And you had a 5-speed manual as standard with an optional 4-speed auto, which was quite popular. You had 2 trim levels, XE and XR, XE being the low one, and you had it in 2 body styles. You had the 5-door hatchback that we were familiar with, and what we know here is the sport hatch, which you had.
Which I had, yeah.
Options were pretty limited, really. You were limited to colours. There was an option of a full leather interior, and on the 5-door hatch you had the option of electric sunroof, and that was about it.
So they really kept it simple with that then?
Yeah.
Generally speaking, a nice car. Didn't do particularly well though. It's a very European car. It was never designed originally to go to North America.
So it didn't really warm
So
well.
It was basically a car designed in Europe for Europe.
For Europe,
Yeah.
And obviously GM being what they were, decided we'll give it a go, and you know.
Yeah, you
so
can see that, can't you?
It's just, I think, just a bit too small for what they're like. Moving on, we have a car that's pretty, well, we're all biased about, I suppose, really, you could say. What we know, of course, is the Rover 800.
Sterling
The
brand.
Sterling.
Yeah.
So, interesting one, because in 1987, Rover, in their infinite wisdom, decided it would be a good idea to go to North America, and they took a high-spec version of what we know as the 800. Simply didn't call it that, they just called it the Sterling, I believe, didn't they? And flogged it over there. So,
Yeah, and it bombed.
well,
Did it bomb though?
this is the thing. Initially, I've done a little bit of research on this.
It sold
Initially,
quite
it
well.
sold very well, because
the SD1 had been sold over there, and it was linked to that.
It was that Britishness.
Yeah.
The Americans love that Britishness about
And they still
stuff.
do.
And they still
They do, yeah.
So initially it actually sold pretty darn well, to be honest.
The problem was that the quality wasn't up to scratch. and then-
Exactly, that was it.
Right.
Very soon the quality issues began to show themselves, and it was mainly it wasn't serious stuff, it was mainly niggling electrical problems, wasn't it, and
Yeah.
things like that. That just the car just wasn't finished properly, was it?
Which is what did the SD1 as well.
Yeah.
So do you think it was rushed to get it into the American market? And
It shouldn't have been, because
not really.
they did left-hand drive cars in Europe,
Yeah.
yeah,
so the electronics were all there. And there wasn't that much change needed for the 800 series, apart from the bumper. The bumpers were made bigger, because that was the bumper that went onto the facelift.
And of course the lights have mildly changed.
Yeah.
And that. Just minor things to
so not really dramatic
No.
things then,
No.
really. No.
So that was that, and that went to America. And believe it or not, there are still cars, still things on the roads of America today, and for what I believe, they do have a bit of a sort of a cult following really now. The
Yeah.
ones that are left, they're really
Things
sort
seem to happen like that sometimes, don't they? Things that don't always do well, they're a bit of an underdog sort of thing, then get a big following
Yeah.
in the end, don't they?
But if it wasn't for the fact that Rover had overestimated their sales in America and produced thousands of badges, we wouldn't have had the Sterling model in this country,
of, and the reason being,
because they had loads and loads of badges.
so we
Left it over.
left over. So that's
Yeah.
why we in Europe and the UK, you guys watching this in America wouldn't know this, we had the 800, we also had an 800 model called the Sterling because of all the badges of the cars
Just
that were
wanted
meant to
to
go
get
to
rid of
America that didn't
parts.
sell.
Well, there's a marketing tip for you.
Now, obviously, as a result of this, in 1991, Rover pulled out of North America altogether, and then around the same time, us in Europe, we got the Mark II 800 in with the
Yeah, which is when we
one.
got the Sterling.
And that continued on all the way till 1999 when it was replaced by the 75. Of course. Now, shame really. I think if the 75 had gone to America, I think it would have done really well.
It probably would have done.
And they did sell it to Mexico, didn't they?
Yeah, I
did,
think
and
that
it
car
sold
would have
well in
actually done
Mexico.
better
Yeah.
in America, actually.
Okay.
So what else have we got?
Number 3, a brand that I don't know how familiar you guys are actually this was sold in the States, but Peugeot, or more specifically, the Peugeot 405. They did
I
sell.
love the 405.
I love. The thing is, they did Peugeot. This is not the only car they sold there. They did sell earlier ones like the 505 and such like that.
Yeah.
But we're going to focus on the 405 simply being it was the last car that was sold there. Again in 1991, Peugeot finally pulled the plug and
On the American market, they did, yeah.
the 405 came out in Europe in 1987, in the UK in January 1988, and in America I think it actually went in 1987 there as well. The trim levels seem to change year to year. Of course, like I said, the final year was 1991, and if you look at an American spec Peugeot 405, you can see the differences. Where in the bumper you've got your orange lights that are required by the authorities there, and that we didn't have in England. We just had the clear indicators and then the repeater on the side, of course. And you can see the differences. It was sold, I think, with a 1.9 litre 4-cylinder, and of course the other one they got was the MI16, which we did have here as well, of course. As does have a bit of a following, does that one?
Yeah.
Sold kind of okay, but just didn't really take off. I think basically the regulations in the States that require manufacturers to comply to, it just became too difficult really for Peugeot to make them changes and compete economically.
But what else did we have anywhere?
Right then, so I've got my cheat sheet here. Right, we know it as the Ford Mondeo.
Oh, the Mark 1. Yeah.
Well, and 2.
And
two.
two.
Basically, the Mark 1 Ford Mondeo came out in Europe in 1993. However, it didn't reach America until 1995 when it was called the Ford Contour. You guys might have known of that.
Yeah.
It didn't sell well, did it?
Just didn't. I mean, they did a few different versions of it, and the V6 one was one called the SVT, standing for Special Vehicle Team, I believe it was.
It is, yeah.
That had quite a following, to be honest with you. But the more cooking sort of models didn't.
Yeah, the regular ones just didn't gel with them, did they?
Which was a shame, because it was designed originally as a world car.
A world car, and
It was
one of the first ones
yeah.
that was, yeah.
And
Exactly.
it didn't actually sell well around the world.
No, it sort of shot itself in the foot with the name,
Yeah.
didn't it, really? So what else did you have on your list, and if that seemed to be one of the best sellers out of the list?
Last one, very interesting car list. We reviewed one on OverDrive, so they're going to wonder what I'm on about now.
Oh,
Land Rover Defender. Right, now, this is, again, a certain YouTuber who shall remain nameless in the States, owns one of these now. Yeah, the Land Rover Defender, or as it was known when it first went over there in 93, the Land Rover 110. When it first went over there in 93, it was a long wheelbase only. They exported from Solihull 525 models, 500 for North America, 25 for Canada. I think the Canadians feel a bit hard done by there, but anyway.
Yeah, they're not exactly equal odds, are they, really? 500 for one and 25 for other.
Right, anyway, so they went over there, they made a few changes to them. They all came with a V8 petrol engine, which we didn't have here at the time. They had a manual gearbox. They all had factory air conditioning as well, which we again didn't have here at the time. And a few of the changes. They had an exterior roll cage, as required by American authorities for safety, basically due to America's safety requirements and the fact that the Land Rover didn't have any airbags or that kind of thing. Right. So they had to basically do something.
So they had to give it some form of protection.
They were all white as well.
That's strange.
Apart from one that was black. I think it was for a celebrity fashion designer or something like that.
So it must have been, done especially for
I can't remember the name,
to
be honest with you, but yes, I think it was something like that. Anyway, that was that. And then in 95, I think they brought out another version. But it was a three-door only this time. And in fact, it was ever since then after that as well. It was only them 500 odds that were long wheelbase. Again with a V8 petrol, manual gearbox, aircon, and a few more extra luxuries. And then in 97, the final phase of Defenders left England for America, and they're known basically, all these cars I should mention, are known as NAS spec, which is North American Specification Land Rovers.
Right.
So they all had the exterior on the wings, on the front of the wings they had the orange running lights, and on European models, of course, you look at the headlights and the indicators, you've got a side light and an indicator and then the main headlight. And American ones, you've got the main headlight and the other two lights that here are white and orange are both orange. That kind of thing. So that were them. I think the V8 became 4 litres, if I remember rightly, and again all standard luxury stuff, air conditioning, all your power steering, all your bits.
That would have been under BMW's watch as well, wouldn't it?
It would. At the time, like I said, there's all cars in this, it just didn't sell well. People just were not interested in them, to be quite honest with you.
You can't please everyone.
True.
However,
it's a shame for some of them.
As with a lot of these things, these days they are worth an absolute fortune. And particularly the North American spec models. There are, I think, some European versions running around over there, but if you've got an official North American spec Defender these days, it is worth an absolute fortune. So, that is it for today's discussion.
A very different one there, ones I didn't even know about there.
I knew about the Mondeo, and I knew about the Rover.
If you guys want to correct with any facts, this is just information that I've picked up over the years. Anything that you think I might have mistaken or got wrong, please let us know.
But also,
it's all done in good faith. We don't intentionally give out any wrong information.
I'd like to say that the fact that somebody's actually taken the time to tell us to actually do this, and that's good.
Yeah, we really appreciate that.
Like that.
We really do,
any topics you'd like us to discuss, and just let us know, and we'll gladly try and sort them, won't we?
Now that the music's over, we're going to have a look at this, which you'll have seen in the background, which is a Mercedes 300D, based on the incredibly robust W124 chassis. And as you'll find out, it's got quite a few features that work in a way you wouldn't normally think. Today we have a little bit of a different look on a car. It's the Mercedes 300D based on the W124 chassis. To see what it's like, we all got into the car and along with the car's owner Gary, had a drive and a discussion about what the car was actually like. Considering there is a lot of things that you normally have with electronics in this car.
Well, yeah, obviously we've got power windows, haven't we?
The power windows, yeah, they're electronic.
Yeah, we're very sparse, aren't we, for electronics, like you said?
Yep. A lot of it's actually operated from vacuum.
Right.
Do you want to explain?
Central locking is operated off a vacuum pump. It's stored in a reservoir.
Brakes, obviously.
Yeah, that's
The light adjustments? The front?
Rear headrests, they're also vacuum operated.
Vacuum operated headrest.
Yep.
That is
Pretty good how they fold down as well, you know.
Yes, I do like the way they're folding down, but I would never have believed that there'd be vacuum operated headrest.
Yeah. I was
Switch on dashboard, if you press it they drop down.
Right. That is, well, it's just a whole new world of motoring, isn't it?
There is only a single ECU in the engine bay, but it's nothing to do with the engine. It controls the ABS and the airbags.
This Mercedes is one of the last ones with vacuum operated stuff on it. Even the headlamp adjusters, they're vacuum operated as well.
Here's something. Because Gary mentioned this earlier while we were doing a few clip shots before you came in, before you arrived. The motor for the sunroof is in the boot.
That's strange.
So you got the sunroof here,
Yeah.
and the motor's behind you guys.
Okay. Well, the boot looks certainly big enough. Because
Yeah, you can get plenty of luggage in there.
Massive.
Well, you can see why these are used for
Yeah.
taxis all over Europe and Germany and other places, can't you? For airport taxis and things.
Yeah.
Just-
I kind of hate to say it, but
Go on.
this kind of puts my 75 to shame.
Are you going to say it's a really comfy ride? Because it really is so getting any bumps up, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just, and the seats as well, yeah. So,
They're firm, but they're not horribly firm.
At the moment we're on pretty rough roads.
Yeah, I mean, I go across this in the 75 regular, and I'm feeling less in this than I do in the 75.
this is soaking it up well, isn't it?
Obviously, you feel the big bumps.
And a lot of these features in this car were taken from the S-Class.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you've got the modern design on the dash itself, which is very similar to what, you know, the cars that were coming out around the time this did. It's
Yeah.
like the 800 and stuff like that. But it's not cheap.
So you know what I find about that dash as well?
Go on.
You can't exactly place out on top of your dash because look, it just sweeps down there.
It does, yeah.
Everything will end up in your knee.
You do have the glove box.
To me,
Even a cup holder.
Right, that's you sold.
that's me sold with a cup holder. Doesn't that the glove box seem high up?
Yeah, it is. That's
Yeah, but
usually
you
where you
see-
expect your airbag, isn't it?
Yeah, like I say, on the later one, that's where
Yeah.
the airbag went, wasn't it?
Well, if you've got an airbag there, what they do is you've got a box here in the centre.
Underneath the arm.
Yeah. This car will sit up motorway all day, 80, 90 mile an hour, no
Yeah.
problem. That's what it was designed for, to take people long distance. That's why it's got a diesel engine.
Yeah.
Nice smooth engine, we've got 6 cylinders here.
It sounds nice, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. That's 6
Yeah, OM603 engine.
Which was it's probably the last of its type.
Right.
Yeah, we're, I think 1995 they went on to OM606.
But they were getting more for electronic fuel injection there.
Yeah, that's right. Whereas this one's got mechanical fuel injection. There's something about the suspension at the front as well. It's got A-arms on the bottom, but it doesn't have coilovers. The coil is inboard and the shock absorbers are outboard.
So the separate units.
Yeah.
Because that's the same setup that the 75 has at the back.
Yeah, it's same at back as well.
Was that the little German input there?
Yeah, it was actually.
I think this was somewhere in the region of 40,000 when it were new. I paid 850 quid for it.
How much do you think you get for it now?
I suppose the prices of them are around about 2.5,
Yeah.
3. It all depends on the model,
Condition.
what engine's in there, and obviously condition as well. You'll be talking £2,000, £3,000, £4,000 probably.
But the thing is, you won't get as good a ride in this, or as this, in a car today, unless you were paying similar sort of price. Yeah.
much you were paying for.
Silly money, yeah.
And
Exactly.
there's this tendency as well to stiffen suspension, so you still wouldn't get as comfortable a ride.
No chance there, no.
No, not on these roads anyway. On a motorway, yeah, but on these roads, no, just wouldn't do it.
It's got a nice auto box as well.
Yeah, I've not noticed the clunk with it when it changes that you sometimes get. And this wouldn't have been a double clutch either.
To be honest, nothing that surprised me particularly about this car. It's exactly how I expected it to be when I saw it. I thought it's engineered for quality.
Yeah, looking at it from the outside, you see the sheer size of it and everything, and then when you get inside, you're not disappointed, are you?
It's exactly as I expected.
It's just a nice long distance cruiser, this, isn't it? You can go for miles in this and just feel relaxed at the end of the journey.
We're nearly up to 180,000 on clock.
Yeah, I mean 179 is just running, isn't it, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say it with that, considering this was what the million-kilometre engine, wasn't it?
Mhm.
So the idea behind it was designed to last for at least 1,000,000 kilometres. Yeah, we're not even past running in point yet.
No.
Well, I had the cover off the top of the engine, the rocker cover, and I put a new gasket on, and the camshaft was mint.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful condition.
Yeah.
I think it might have been replaced at some stage, but
I can quite
I
easily
was quite
see
happy
this.
when I saw that.
Yeah. I can quite easily see this outlasting a modern equivalent. Its modern equivalent car today. Easily.
Probably will, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's...
With the right maintenance, yeah. I mean, it's...
Well, you definitely get the right maintenance and garage hands.
Yeah, I do everything myself. Oil, filters, everything.
We even got aircon on this, haven't we?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, aircon doesn't work.
But it is
Well, I'm
there.
working on it.
Yeah.
It's the only thing on the car that doesn't work.
Now, see the dials here? Now, usually they're attached to mechanical
Cables,
cables and stuff like that. These aren't. They're electronic.
Right.
So it's one of the few things.
One of
that
the
you-
only probably few components it is.
It's one, yeah, but it's also one of the few things you'd expect to be mechanical and is actually electronic.
So it's the other way.
Whereas there's a lot of things that you'd expect to be electronic that are actually vacuum
Mechanical,
and
yeah,
mechanical.
that's right, yeah.
I believe it'll have an arm. Oh, it has. It's
Yeah.
got an armrest.
It's a
Yes,
proper hinged as well, double hinged. So
About the size of the armrest on my sofa at home. They're brilliant, these, aren't they?
yeah.
Very good. Very comfy ride,
Well,
and
glad you've enjoyed it.
yeah, for the backseat passenger's point of view, yeah, it's a really good place to be.
Fit enough room here as well.
Yes, a really good Merc.
And no
Yeah.
surprises whatsoever. Really good.
And it's the last to see of things like this now, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
everything's just changed now. I actually like the yellow colour as well.
Oh, and
Speedo.
the speedo, yeah.
Mm.
That is different.
Yeah, you got your kilometres in yellow and miles per hour in white.
Yeah.
It stands out a lot more than it does in the modern.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Generally speaking, that's a tank.
Yes.
Yeah,
Both inside and out
Yeah.
now, as we've discovered, yeah. Yeah,
they're
very
just
well built.
really well made.
The conditions amazing. The quality of the ride.
As we've just witnessed.
Yeah, again,
It is, yeah.
nothing surprised me on that front at all.
Anything to add?
No?
No. That was the Mercedes 300D, and quite a nice little car.
Do you know what?
Set little.
Yeah, little. I'm still taking on how big it seems.
Yeah, it's a big car. It's probably one of the. It was at a time when cars started to get smaller.
Yeah, but I don't think this certainly did.
No.
Did it really?
You had the SD1, which was replaced with the 800.
Yeah, yeah.
That shrunk effectively, a bit smaller in length, a lot narrower
Yeah.
because it was built with the Japanese floor plan.
But is it
Yeah.
me? Does it? Even the fuel filler cap seems massive.
Yeah, it is. It's huge.
It's just them little things, but it does.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed this Merc today. I really have.
It's definitely been interesting.
It has,
I
yeah.
think the thing to remember about these is how tough they are.
Yeah.
They were touched on, of course. They're just
Built like tanks.
Tanks,
though.
aren't
Yeah, yeah. It's just,
Yeah.
I mean, missing a gun turret. It is a tank, in it really.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Put one in the sunroof.
Yeah, and another thing, me and sunroof. Nice sunroof.
quality made.
Yeah.
Just like the rest of the car.
Yes, exactly.
You know, there's actually very few. Well, as you mentioned in the film, there's very few electronics in this car.
Right, yeah.
There's an ECU in there, and all it controls is the airbags and the ABS.
Don't you think that's better?
Yeah, a lot simpler.
So much less to go wrong.
I think that
really
probably says a lot about his longevity, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really, you know.
But the thing is, as
certainly
well, things like headlamp adjustment and stuff like that, all vacuum operated.
Yeah, it's just a different world of motoring into in this car, in a sense, really. It really is.
I think it puts a lot of today's cars to shame.
It does, and like we were saying earlier, we hope for the Vauxhall special, but you know what? I'm glad this is sort of.
I think you'd sacrifice that for this, wouldn't you?
Yes,
I mean, the thing is, this was built at a time when the cars were, yes, okay, it's got some nice toys on it for the time, but it was built when executive cars were just comfortable and luxurious. It wasn't about how many gadgets you got, it was about how well it was built, it was about how quiet it was, it was about
how comfortable you felt in it.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of luxury, isn't it?
Because I mean, for an example, when we did the 75 and the Mondeo, and whilst we were sat in the front, we were both comparable. As soon as you were sat in the back and we went over the speed bump,
I remember that well.
the Mondeo fell flat on its face.
It did. I just felt like I really wasn't sat on a seat in the back of that. It was woeful.
Yeah.
And that's me being a Ford man saying that about a Ford, but it was.
But then again, you compare the 75 then against the SD1. Yes, the 75 is a lovely ride,
But the
compared to the
SD1,
one's like a magic carpet. So
you can see differences, and we found that today with this again. We always turn a car up and we're always full of surprises with things, but we've been surprised ourselves today with this.
I always try and find something that's going to be that bit special.
He always gets something out of the bag.
Yeah,
have you noticed?
I have noticed. It has.
He always pulls something out of the bag.
It's not escaping my attention.
All I'll say is, I clinched something,
Yeah.
which took a while, and I'm glad that we got it. I'm not going to tell you what it is,
But that's next episode.
but it will be next episode, and we enjoyed filming it. It took a lot to pin down, and that's all I'll say about that.
And it appears we've suddenly
I
started
won't say
filming on the
what it is.
motorway.
I won't say what it is. I am dying to actually say what it is, but I'm not going to. So I'll leave you with that.
So that is episode 17 all wrapped up.
It is all wrapped up, and can you believe, actually, on a different note, we've actually got to 17 so quick? Don't you think these episodes have rolled a bit now? And
We do seem
Especially
to.
where we were last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we seem to have got into a rhythm with them, certainly, haven't we? And getting things.
Yeah.
We've got a lot more organised as time has gone on.
Oh yeah, we get organised.
And
there will be people out there screaming now saying, organised? Is that organised?
but in terms of our schedule, we've settled into a routine of how we get things done, haven't we? And so-
Yeah, we certainly have, and may it continue, and with your guys' support, hopefully it will. So I think on that note, and on this note, I think that's a wrap for 17, isn't it?
Yep.
Appears to be.
It is, and on this cloudy but nice day, we shall catch you next time.
We will. Bye.
Right.
Which is a Mercedes 300D with the rather incredibly rugged W124. Yeah. 124 chassis. Rolling. Oh god.
You see, that would have been the worst blooper ever if one of you got up and went,
I don't
straight
fit.
over what, and you don't